Hi everyone, it's Marcia Martin, the Heart Healer, and today we're talking about you can't get there from here. And so, as always, they have a completely different perspective than what I thought we were going to be hearing about, but they want us to open up to the miracles that exist today. They begin, dear ones, we want you to let go of the way it's always been. The way you've been told it should be, and the way you're certain is the way things should happen. Let go of that old paradigm and begin opening your heart to miracles. When you've let go of how it must be, should be, or will be, and you're open to receiving guidance about how it can happen for you, then you've placed yourself in line for a miracle. That's why we tell you that your worn-out beliefs of how things should be will never get you from where you are to where you want to go. As long as you've decided that there's only one way for something to happen, then you'll never be open to receiving inspiration, and that miracle you've been waiting for, the open door of opportunity, will never enter your awareness. It may be standing there, open, waiting for you the entire time, but unless you're willing to see it, it will never become visible to your eyes. And I want us to remember that God is not limited. It doesn't matter whether you call God source, unlimited substance, creator, Allah, any name that you choose to call the master being. They are not limited. There is no law in the universe that says that there's only one way. Remember, God pours their blessings out unto all continuously and without ceasing. But there are many of you who've decided to engage with an angry, vengeful, or petty God, and therefore you will never see the steady stream of blessings that are being poured forth upon the earth. When you insist that the world is harsh, unloving, and unforgiving, or you state that whether you insist that the world is harsh, unloving, and unforgiving, or you state that the world is kind, loving, and joy-filled, you will always be right. As a powerful creator, you get to determine the type of world you live in and the kind of interactions you'll have with yourself and others. There's no one world standard, one-size-fits-all life that has been ordered for you. No, rather life is what you and your thoughts decide it should be. Let's really get a hold of that concept. Whatever you decide is going to be the way your life unfolds is the way that it will unfold. There's no force that says you're going to have a bad life, or she's going to have a good life. It's your thoughts and the way you're feeling and interacting with what is happening around you that determines whether it's going to feel good or feel bad. Therefore, if you're over here where it doesn't feel too good and you want to be over there where it sure looks better, the first thing you have to do is change the way you're talking about getting to a better place. When you look at the way someone else is living and you compare yourself to them while feeling resentful and jealous that they've acquired what you want, you've essentially locked yourself out of the world of plenty and into the world of lack. Understand, this is what you do, not what is being done to you. Please change the way you're talking about the circumstances that you are encountering so they will have an opportunity to change. You cannot move from nothing to something, from the place of anger or self-pity. Neither of those emotions has the ability to move you forward in a positive direction. Perhaps you'll slide sideways or fall back even further, but you will not and cannot get closer to your goal of abundance from the position of, poor me, I deserve better, and everybody owes me, but nobody's sharing. However, if you stop for a moment and say to yourself, I don't like what I am, where I am, but if I focus on all that I don't like, I'll get more that I don't like. So instead, I'm going to focus on everything that feels good to me and fill my world with positive and loving thoughts and actions. You'll then find that as soon as you change your point of focus, you cannot help but go from a feeling of I'm trapped to I have the freedom to make things better for myself. It doesn't mean that the situation will change overnight, but it does mean that your perception of the situation has improved and you'll be better able to see the opportunities that are being presented. In essence, you got yourself from there to here by changing the way you viewed the situation and your part in it. And I want everyone to understand that you truly do have the freedom to make things better for yourself. But you've got to step away from what's wrong, what isn't working, what feels awful. Take your attention away from that and put it onto what feels good. And if you are in such a horrible circumstance that truly nothing feels like it will ever be good again, you've got to get really busy and really proactive. Go outside and look at the flowers. If there's snow on the ground, make a snow angel. Find something that feels good. Watch a funny movie. Read jokes. Get yourself out of where you are so that you can see the opportunities that are there in front of you. Now, we must address those times when nothing seems to change the circumstance, when nothing seems to make it better. At this point, many will ask, do the laws always apply? Did I use them correctly, or are there some cases when order doesn't prevail in the universe? To this we say, you are perfectly safe. Divine order always prevails, and the laws are absolute. So rest assured that God is always good, that God will always function as love, that you're not in a chaotic universe that has somehow conspired to get you. However, the thing that may need to change in this example was not the circumstance, but your reaction to it. Often it's the way you're feeling and interacting with the circumstances that may make it feel intolerable. And once you've looked at your own energetic field and cleared away any darkness or baggage that has collected there, you'll be able to take a fresh look at yourself and the situation. Perhaps you were being a harsh critic of the circumstances or of yourself, or you were acting with intolerance toward a certain group of people or a belief system. When you take the time to clear away negativity from your own heart and mind, the people around you may choose to maintain their beliefs, and you would now view them with tolerance, love, and compassion instead of bigotry, hatred, and judgment. The others did not change, so your life became better. You changed from hatred to love, so your life became better. This is so important for us to remember. Anytime that you allow intolerance or any form of judgment to be in your life, you are setting up roadblocks, because that energy that goes forth from us is what's going to come back to us from other people. So if you want to be treated with loving tolerance, learn to be lovingly tolerant of other people. Doesn't mean that you agree. It doesn't mean that you adopt their lifestyle. It simply says that you're allowed to be you and they are allowed to be themselves. Remember, love or hate is always your choice. No one is born into this world with prejudice and intolerance already preformed. This means that you may choose at any time to think more positively, act more positively, and to maintain an open and honest relationship with God. Nothing is demanded from you. This life is an opportunity to learn and grow, which means you must explore different avenues of being until you find that which works best for you. But don't be deceived. A good life is not filled with fancy cars, large houses, and greed-filled pursuits that enable you to look down on others from a point of superiority. No, a good life may include any car you desire, or as many cars as you desire, and any home that feels like home to you, whether that's a little cabin in the woods or a castle on a hill. But you won't feel superior, righteous, or so much better than those other people. When you're living a good life, it feels like a warm bath or a soft blanket. You'll have what you desire, and it will come wrapped in the package of love, joy, and peace. Because you've decided to feel good about yourself, about others, and about life, you're actively looking for and finding God in each and every person and situation. When love is your guide, you become open to all of the miraculous solutions and opportunities that have been waiting there for you all along. All you need to do to get from there to here is to be brave enough to let go of what you know and invite into your heart and mind the knowledge of God. Then, allow the fullness and complete acceptance of God to fill every part of your being. You'll be halfway to your goal, and the minute you stop insisting and start allowing, you'll get the rest of the way there by opening yourself to the power of love and the miraculous opportunities that are waiting here for you now. We've got to learn to step into the flow. Life was not meant to be static. We cannot dictate the way things are going to progress for us the minute we begin saying, I want this and only this, or I'm giving up and going home. That's when life becomes really unlivable. That's when you don't want to try anymore. So I invite you, open your heart to just being, just taking whatever is in front of you and finding a way to make it feel good. Change the way you're thinking about yourself. Most importantly, yourself. We are hardest on ourselves. Change the way you're thinking of it and talking to yourself. Start saying, I love you to yourself. You're beautiful inside and out. Thank you, self, for doing the best that you know how to do each and every minute of the day. And if there's a time when you screw up and it doesn't work out in the way that you hoped, simply take a deep breath, acknowledge that it didn't work. You may want to look at the parts that did work. Don't concentrate on what went wrong. Okay, I get it. I understand. This is a way that I don't want to do it moving forward. But what did I get out of this that did work? What have I learned that will help me move forward? If you're capable of looking at what you've learned and taking away from every situation that didn't go the way you wanted and say, okay, I just need to look at what I have gained from this, you will move yourself forward at lightning speed. Understand that that mistake probably happened on purpose. I've learned so much more from my mistakes than I ever had from the sat down and got it. But I also learned, and I learned this hard, that if I concentrate on what I'm doing wrong, I will most definitely get more of what I'm doing wrong. I used to dissect every single thing. Oh my gosh, this didn't go the way I wanted it to go. Let me look at everything I did that didn't go the way I wanted it to, and and I had to analyze it, and I'll get it right the next time. I completely let go of the fact that I had done anything right. And then I was completely shocked when things took a really long time to start going. Well, that was because I was focused and concentrating on those things that I hadn't done right. I had told myself, well, if I can figure out what I'm doing wrong, I'll get it right the next time. But that is completely backward. My focus was on what was wrong. And there's no way to go to what's right if I'm focused on what's wrong. Then, thankfully, Mother God helped me understand and helped me shift my focus away from what I perceived was going wrong onto everything that was now able to go right again. And that was when my world began opening up. I was now able to see, oh my gosh, here's an element I want to spend more time on. Here's something that I can grow. Here's something that really works well for me. The other thing to remember, not everything is going to work perfectly for you, and not everything is going to be a disaster for you. So you can't look at what someone else is doing and say, oh, it worked for them, and I'm so excited that it worked for them, so I'm going to copy exactly what they're doing. You got to remember, you are an individual. You've got your own way of doing things and seeing things, and work within your operating system. Don't try to be someone else. You are unique, special, perfect, and wonderful just the way you are. Pre-Paul, I see your hand. I'm going to get to you in just a moment. I just want to remind us of a few points before we go forward. Please, open up to miracles. Now is the time. Open up to miracles. Let go of how it should be. Be open to receiving guidance, and then be brave enough to take the action on the guidance you received. Remembering that God is not angry with you. I don't care what you have done. I've made more mistakes than most of you will make in your lifetimes. God is not angry with you. God wants to see you learn, grow, and prosper. Know that you are loved and move forward as though you are loved. Now, I want to give you an example. What happens if you're afraid of an upcoming event? And for this particular case, because my daughter's in college and just taking her exams, we can get fearful or anxious and just start focusing on the fear. But what would happen if you became so tied up and knotted up when you went into the classroom and you sat down to take that exam? Nothing that you studied would be able to get through. So we must approach every situation as though it's going to be exactly what we had hoped for and fabulous. Then you can stay open to that divine inspiration, and in that flow, and the answers will come when you need them. So it's the difference between being anxious and worried or being confident and trusting. Yes, you do the work to get prepared, but you must address every situation with confidence and trust that it's going to be magnificent. Otherwise, it will become whatever you believe it's going to become. So do yourself the favor. You have the power. You create your life. Go into every new situation with a firm intention set that this is going to be magnificent. And guess what? If it doesn't turn out to be absolutely wonderfully fabulous, just move on. Okay, what did I learn from this that I can apply the next time? Maybe my intention could have been a little stronger or more powerful. Maybe I need to start setting my intentions ahead of, give myself longer time to get into that flow. Whatever it is, just say, okay, I'm delighted that I'm moving forward and I'm going to make sure that I continue to hang on to these lessons and to use them and grow with every opportunity. You can control whether you feel trapped or whether you're taking advantage of the ability to make life better. And I want each and every one of you on this call, that's my Christmas present to you. Please make your life better. And remember, living a good life doesn't include looking down on other people. So please act with tolerance toward yourself and others. You don't know their circumstances. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know if you were in the exact same circumstance, if you would act like they do, only worse. So approach every circumstance and every person with love, allowing God to lead the way because you are in the flow. When you stop insisting that you know better, life becomes easier. But let's remember that being God-dependent does not mean that you're too stupid to figure it out. It just says that you're so wise that you are willing and able to accept that perfect help that comes from God. God has that overarching vision that we cannot achieve while we are in these physical bodies unless we are connected with God. So reach your hand up and say, help. And then be open to flowing, not because you're too little, but because you are so big. So, Preet Paul, I'm so delighted to see you're on the call. And what is your question today?
Hi, Marcia. My question is about before, like 5 minutes ago, I was feeling bad. I just listened to you for a bit. Now I'm feeling better already. But my question was, and now I kind of dissipated the question as well. The question was, like, how am I want to create a vibration primarily for the feeling state of the vibration, but I also want manifestations. I don't want to be stuck in this living circumstance with my parents and with no money. So I want to create.
Oh, we lost you, honey. Preet Paul?
Yeah,
Okay.
working on my vibration all the time. So my question is regarding how should I approach the creations? I have a lot of processes, and how should I approach creation? Like one of the processes, imagine yourself as the tree version of yourself, and just get into that relax. Everything that you want that is positive has relax in it, has the vibration of relax in it. Just it has some component within it. It has relax, whether it's money or a relationship or a car. There's some sort of component that has a vibration of relax in it. So if you vibrate relax first and you consistently vibrate relax, everything will come flooding towards you. Like not in the perfect timing as well, not all at once as well. So it just be the ground.
You cut off again, but I'm going to say you're absolutely correct. And so
They just exist.
It keeps cutting in. So let me answer for you. I'm going to mute it just so you have a moment to get your mic working again. Let me answer that question for you. You've really brought up a brilliant point, because we're living in a language-based universe where we need to speak with each other using words generally, although sometimes we can communicate with pictures. But you used the word relax, and earlier I was using the word flowing. They are exactly the same thing. If you are feeling anxious or upset or nervous or depressed, you tend to close yourself in. You're very tense. You can feel the muscles in your body become stiff. So you're not relaxed or flowing. So absolutely, before you begin doing any of the practices, the most important thing that you can do is to take several deep breaths. I love using the heart breath method that my guides shared with me. And I'll share that with all of you right now, which is just to breathe in through the nose and imagine that the breath is going immediately to that midbrain area. That's where the corpus callosum is, that the pineal gland, the hypothalamus, the pituitary. That is your divine communication center with God. Activate that center by breathing in through the nose. You'll see if you just were to run your hand up your nose, you would go right there to that midbrain. If there was no skull in the way and your hand just continued on your trajectory, it would go right there into that midbrain. So just see the breath going into the midbrain, and then I use a rainbow. I create a rainbow shoot that goes from that midbrain area down through the chakra system into the heart, and I see the breath entering the heart. And as I exhale, I begin lessening the resistance, moving the negativity out of the heart that may have gotten stuck there or stored there because of a previous event. If you take at least 3 deep breaths before you sit down to do any of this work, or as you sit down to do this work, you will find that it's much easier to relax and to connect. Because when you're coming from a place where you are feeling tense or uptight, or you're pushing too hard against something, you're not going to be seeing the results that you are hoping. You may not be able to hear the voice of God. It's generally not a loud, booming voice in your head. It's that still, small, quiet voice that asks that you listen and be open. So, yes, Preetpal, excellent. Please relax. That will absolutely help everything that you are trying to do. Does that help answer your question? Because there is no one right way to do it. It's the way that feels comfortable to you. But okay.
Another thing that I think would be helpful is you do alterations of any method or that anyone's offering. You could do your own adaptations or alterations of that method. So you were saying breathe into your corpus callosum or the pineal gland. You could just breathe into the center of the pineal gland, which is the master cell of the pineal gland, and see that that master cell of the pineal gland is spreading the energy of relax, the vibration of relax towards every other cell in your body. You could visualize it in any way you want, and just alter the process with your imagination.
Absolutely. And again, another brilliant point, there is no right way to do any of the methods that people may share with you. Adopt anything that to your style of being that is shared with you. Do not try to follow a paint-by-number system. It's got to feel good to you and feel comfortable to you. And that's the thing that you need to remember. Someone may say, do it this way. You say, oh, okay, I've got the general framework. Now I'm going to use this in a way that feels best to me. The goal remains the same. You're still wanting to relax and get to the place where you can envision being financially free and living on your own and being able to live your life in a way that feels good to you. But the relaxation part of it is merely your doorway in to being able to commune with God so that you can receive divine inspiration and then take action in a direction that will lead you where you want to go. And now, David, I see that your hand is raised.
Yes. Hi, Marcia.
Hi, how's your mom?
Looking good. We know.
Oh, fabulous.
We'll know more tomorrow, but I'll let you know.
Okay.
What I experienced with myself is to know thyself is so important. To know if your ego is speaking to you or instead of your heart, and also to know for sure that you don't take on any other people's projections.
Again, so brilliant. Yes, so brilliant. Thank you, David. And in your opinion, let's just dive into this a little more and separate the voice of the ego and the voice of God or Creator or Source or whatever name you choose to give that energetic help. How does the ego feel to you, David? How have you been able to differentiate between the two?
Well, first of all, it's very important to dare to look into the mirror, to see to dare to see you for who you are completely. So the good parts and the bad parts, so you can try to see the difference. What feels forced and what flows from the heart. And the more you are able to still the mind and get into the heart, the easier it gets to be in the flow of divine. That's my experience, and usually we need to get out of our own way.
Yes. And I've also found for me, the ego usually comes with negative emotions. So the ego would suggest something that would either make me feel superior or make me feel pitiful, like I'm not worth it. It never comes with that feel-good suggestion. It usually, oh, look at that. They have something you don't. Or, poor you. You didn't get this thing. That, to me, has always been the ego. The heart, that still small voice will say, when I'm veering off on the wrong track, are you sure you want to go there? There's no punishment. There's no yelling, blaming. Just giving me that opportunity to take a breath and say, uh-oh, I'm heading off the cliff. I think I'll turn around. Yes, so important to allow all the aspects of ourselves to be on display so that we can pick and choose the ones that we want to interact with. And now, Doug, I see that your hand is raised as well.
Good morning, afternoon, everyone. Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, Doug.
Hello. Yes. Hi. Good. And hi, David and Marcia and other friends there. Beautiful day. And to the guy that spoke that had raised his hand first, and Marcia that you called on. Or I don't know what his name was.
Preet Paul.
Hello? What was it? Is it?
Preet Paul.
Yeah, that guy. If he's still on the phone, I want to suggest a movie, DVD, a CD, a movie, probably out of Hollywood, but it's a movie called, so you sound like you might be French or something, I'm not really sure, but called The King's Speech. Check that movie out. So many of us are in. God blessings to everyone. I'm happy to be here, get to be here and talking to everyone today. And what is so important, I am finding, is to, with the relaxation and the flowing, is that, ultimately, when none of us are ever taking a test, and I have had in my past and hippocampus, different parts of really emotional, if you think you're in trouble, you're not, because you get to step back. You honestly can step back from that and do breathing exercises. And so my example is, and with the vibration of love and wanting to, with the calmness, invite positive seeds of manifestation. Remind everyone, first and foremost, I do at how wonderful we all are and deserve so much better, and really, any projections or anything like that, those, ultimately they were never any of ours. They were never any of ours. So I love what David said, and I'm finding that for myself is that be able to step back and realize that if you're, as long as you're relaxed, there's no reason to be in any way frantic. But what I'm finding for myself is that I'm recognizing these negative emotions, basically, that were dumped on me, but I held on to for some kind of safety. But it's not really safe. And it's not comfortable either, and it also prevented me from the true good flow of what is coming, and all good things. And I hope I'm not delving too far off the subject here.
But Doug, that was so brilliant. How many times have we held on to a negative experience out of safety instead of just opening our arms wide and saying, I am now brave enough to let go of this past trauma, even though I don't know what may be coming next. I'm going to step out of the comfort of this pain that I've been wallowing in for all of this time, and I'm going to find out what it would be like to feel good, to try a new way. So often we get stuck, and that's one of the other reasons we can't get here from where we used to be. If we insist on being stuck in the way things always were, or in that thing that someone did to us, there is no way we can get to that better feeling place. Part of this process includes letting go of the things that hurt us, letting go of the things that we may have always known to be true, and just trusting that when we open ourselves to a bigger picture, that there really is something there. And that is real spiritual maturity. As children, we may just follow along with what we see and imitate what the family is doing. As we grow, we've got to be able to say, I am ready to explore for myself. And that's what, again, we must do on our spiritual journey. Explore for ourselves. So Mom and Dad said this is the way it is and this is the way it will always be. Okay, well, that's what they knew, and we're not going to criticize them. We're just going to say that's what they knew. That's as far as they were able to go. But we are unlimited. All we have to do is open the door and walk outside and say, okay, it may be a little scary because I haven't been here before, but I am willing to let go of the place that I've been in order to explore a new place. So, Doug, thank you. That was really very brilliant.
Glad to help, yeah, and say something, as I'm going through and learning these things all at the same time. And, with it, too, the ground is always solid, and no matter how long it might take someone to get there, and the sun, and there will always be the light of day, and so I know it takes a long time. So yeah, and right on. God bless and love everyone, for sure. Congratulations.
One other point that I want to make is we've got to stop assigning time values. That's something that we do because we believe we live in a universe, and it's not surprising because night follows day, and the hands on the clock tick, 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 and we think, okay, time is this thing that we can get our mind around. But it doesn't really exist. And so when we start looking at time from the viewpoint or the possibility and just say, okay, I'm going to live in a world where time doesn't exist, that will allow you to say, well, I would like my circumstance to change, and I'm open for it to changing instantly. The minute we start saying to ourselves, oh, it's going to take me 6 months to a year to accomplish my goal, we've now decided and put that barrier in place so that it's very unlikely that your goal will happen before those 6 months have passed. So I'd like us to open up to the possibility that time does not have to exist when it comes to something that you would like to accomplish or have happen in your life. Let's just let go of that whole idea and step into the arena that says it will happen for me whenever it's supposed to happen.
Yeah. Step into life.
Yeah, that way, what if that huge miracle you've been waiting for is right in front of you, but you have created this arbitrary barrier that says, well, in 6 months, I'll be ready to receive it. Well, that miracle will wait around, but you just had forced yourself to spend 6 months without it. And I want us to get in the habit of being so in the now that time doesn't exist for us anymore. So every minute is now, and everything can happen now. It may not happen for 6 of our nights, days and nights. That's okay. It will still be now. But I just want us to start looking at, and this is something that we do when we're children. Oh, I can't wait to be 5. I can't wait to be 6. I can't wait to, even though as children, we are much better about living in that present moment, but we're excited about what's coming next. As adults, we have to learn to get back into that present moment because we're not realizing, but we're putting up all these barriers to having it now. And so, as a community, I would just like us to agree to have it now. Whatever that is, whatever you're desiring, why can't it come to you right now? And the answer is,
I agree.
It can.
I agree. Yeah.
It can. It doesn't mean that everything
you've
been desiring will be plopped in your lap instantly, because you may need to grow a little bit or go on an adventure of learning that makes that even more fabulous when it does get to you. But I just want us to take away all the ways that we're restricting something from joining us where we are right now.
Yeah. Wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah, no more timelines, no more, gee, if I do this thing for long enough or for a year, I should be there. How about if I just step into the flow and open myself completely to God's guidance, it will be here for me now, whenever that now is appropriate.
There are so many timelines, and people talk about timelines, and I don't know. The whole timelines are. I mean, we all have a path that we have to learn from, and certainly it takes time for each one of us. And 6 seconds and 6 minutes ago, or in 6 milliseconds, and it's already now and happening again. And I want to say, if I could you mind? Can I say another thing briefly?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. I'm basically, and opening us ourselves up, all of us, to receiving, and the time frames and I don't know. Some people call them clearinghouses, but ultimately, I think, what I'm finding is it's life, and I just basically, we all struggle with our parents, and our parents are never gonna see us for what we are, and probably there aren't really anyone besides each of us in our own self that will ever see or know us for how maybe in some ways that we want to be known or think we I don't know. For my example, basically what this is, I know my parents, both of my parents love me. They're both living, and they say this and they do that. And I know that, like for instance, one of my parents, my father, they want the best for me, which is great, and no one is perfect and no one can be perfect. And I don't have children, and I'm sure if I did, besides my own inner child, but if I did have children, that I wouldn't be a perfect parent by any state or means, by any stretch. And that my father has wanted to, I don't know, because I'm living with the guy. I'm not going to talk about it, but I'll just real brief. I'm going to say, want to experience my life for me, and it was like a block to abundance, and just kind of a weird thing. But anyways, never mind. I'm letting go of all of that and happy to be my own self, in my own skin, with my own feelings, and my own spirit.
Yeah, good for you. And remember, in situations like that, it can be easy to try to become what he would feel good if you became, because we all do want to please people that we care about and that we love or who are part of our family. So give yourself permission just to be you and to shine as brightly as possible as you. Because in the long run, even if your father or whomever it may be is never able to accept you as that shining beacon of light that you truly are, you didn't come to live your life for them. You came to expand your soul as much as you, and to learn as much as you possibly could. So you're not being cruel by saying, Dad, I love you, but what you have envisioned for me doesn't resonate with who I came to be. There's no cruelty there. You're not being unloving. You're simply saying, I am here as my own soul on my own journey, and I came to shine light and to share love, and this is the way that I can do it best. In many cases, after the person has been willing to step out and just say, I am going to be this being of love and of light, the parent may come back and say, I'm really, really proud of you. I didn't see it, or I couldn't see it because of my own limitations, but I'm really proud of you. Other times the parent is never able to get over their disappointment that you didn't do what they wanted you to do. But it's their disappointment and not yours. It is them trying to take something within themselves that they haven't worked on or processed, and put it on you and ask you to clear it for them, and we cannot do that.
No, that's a pretty tough projection to clear. Somebody else's stuff. That's
right.
An expectation, just a real unrealistic expectation. Something like whatever it could be.
And let's take a moment just to look at those of you that are on the call, all of the empaths. Remember, the empathic journey, yes, is a deeply feeling journey, and you have come to share love in abundance, but you did not come, and this needs to be said again and again and again, especially everyone who grew up in the Western culture didn't get this education. Many empaths are being taken down because they feel that their job is to go rescue or to absorb all of the negativity of the people around them. That's not your job. You are to feel it. Oh, I get it. Somebody's in trouble and needs help. Then you go out and meet them where they are, but you do not absorb their negativity. If you absorb their negativity, they have succeeded in taking you down. You go out and meet them where they are and cover them in blankets of pink and gold light. Beautiful pink and gold light, beautiful love vibration. The job of the empath is to bring forth more of this love that we need in order to create this new world order. But your job is not to try to absorb the negativity from the people around you. Number one, no one is capable of doing that. Number two, it's completely impossible because whomever is sending that negativity will simply create more. Every time you take it away, they'll create more, because that's the vibration that they're in at this moment. They must do the work or reach out of themselves for that better feeling place and decide to let go of the negativity before you will be able to have any ability to change them. If they're not willing, you can't do it for them, is what I'm trying to say. So you running out and absorbing all of their negativity, hoping that you're going to make them feel better, is just a fool's errand, because they don't want to feel better. If they do want to feel better, they'll make that abundantly clear, and they'll meet you halfway and ask you to help them climb up. So empaths, yes, you're receiving a call for help. You are the lovers and the feelers of the earth. But it doesn't mean that you must take that pain inside of you and become disabled because of the pain. It means that you go where they are, cover them with love, and try to help them climb up into a new place. However, if they don't want to go, it's not your fault. It's not your responsibility. We can only be responsible for ourselves, and we can lend a hand to those who are willing to go. Willing is the operative word here. If somebody is not ready, that's okay. They will keep getting opportunities until they are ready. But you forcing them is never going to make it work out the way that you had hoped, and it's only going to bring you down. So that's not your job. Your job, and every empath that I speak with who has not understood, is feeling overwhelmed, lost, confused, destroyed, and can't figure out why. And it's because you're absorbing all the negativity, believing that's what you came to do. So please, 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 shields up. Do not allow their negativity to affect the integrity of your energetic space. Go out and meet them with love, but preserve your space. That is truly the empath's job. You hear the cry for help and you answer it, keeping yourself safe, because that's the only way that you'll be able to continue to share your love. If you're out of business, nobody can receive any help. Now, that's not selfish. That is very self-loving. And if you're truly committed to creating a change in the world, you must make yourself strong. The weak person cannot come up against hate and win. Only the strong can do that. That's why we're working so hard to build these communities and support each other, because we know we're stronger when we're supported. We're stronger when we're together, and we want to give and encourage as many people who are wanting to bring love the ability to do so easily. So thank you all for helping me create this community, coming on these calls, and being so supportive. Every day isn't going to be a walk in the park. Life is supposed to have challenges. It's supposed to have things to overcome. It makes you stronger, more confident, more able to fulfill that life purpose that you came to fulfill. So please don't be discouraged when you see a roadblock or an obstacle. Instead, say, hey, look at me. I'm so strong. I needed another obstacle to overcome so that I could become even stronger. Think of yourself as that weightlifter in the gym. If you are constantly working with 5-pound weights, you will go so far and no further. You must constantly be challenging yourself to think a little more deeply, share a little more broadly, connect even more fully with the divine. If you're really going to have that impact, that world impact that I know that you came to share. So, that's it for today. I thank you all. It's Marcia Martin, the Heart Healer. Please go sign up for my email list so that you will know. I think in January we're going to be changing the day of the call, but of course you'll get that notice in your email. But as different clients come to work with me, my schedule changes a little bit. And I think we're going to be moving to Wednesdays, but probably not till January, since we only have a short time left in December. So we'll just keep it the way it is for now. We will have a call next Friday. And for those of you who celebrate Christmas, and just for the holiday season, which is should be a wonderful time of joy for all of us, next week we're going to be talking about, do miracles still exist? That will be on the 22nd. Remember, go to my website, Marcia Martin, thehearthealer.com. Send me an email, Marcia, Marcia, at marciamartin, thehearthealer.com. If you have questions, if you would like a complimentary consultation, or just to sign up for the email list. Thank you all so much, and I will talk with you next week. Sending you all my love.